I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not deck you. I was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you?
I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a baby. You are such a baby. Grow the up,
Did you
Johnny.
start physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had
Because-
to get the fuck out of there.
Babe, how was your day?
I'm good. How's your day?
It was good, but whose is this?
That's yours. You're in a hurry this morning. You came to the restroom and you left on the way to work.
Okay, fine. So, remember the other night whenever we went to dinner at that restaurant on maybe
Hit me last night, you.
What about all the other times you split? Come on, you cannot act like that. It's about that. It's not.
Well, on a plane I can't split.
No, and you hit back. So don't act like you don't
I
participate.
pushed you.
I'm not going to get into the details of that fight. You and I both know that you split when there is no physical violence involved. And that you do it at the very beginning of fights these days. And if you split and you go into a different room and you don't actually leave that house, it does nothing but perpetuate the fight. And you don't actually do it respectfully.
You were screaming at me.
I'm not going to validate my actions last night. I feel very bad.
No, I'm talking
for how I
in
reacted.
Toronto.
I did not start screaming until you said all this. You poke an animal enough, it is eventually, doesn't matter how friendly it is.
How come boss ladies and independent modern women are not able to take responsibility for their actions? They claim they are responsible and equal with men, but they simply can't admit their mistakes and own up. Many women find it very easy to guilt trip men. It is a very instinctive habit to manipulate men for resources or shift blame. They turn men into simps and make them very miserable and lack self-esteem. Women can guilt trip a man so that he will feel that there is nothing he can do well again in life, and they bring men's inability to completely satisfy them and meet all their needs as the reason why they are irresponsible and disrespectful to him. Only smart men have been able to deal perfectly with women like this. I have had personal experience of women guilt tripping me. Women will always throw tests at you by guilt tripping you. If you fall for that trap, you become a slave to their manipulation, which can ruin the man if he does not save himself. Even masculine men are being guilt-tripped and gaslighted. The difference is that we don't fall their immature traps. Women make men feel responsible for their unhappiness, and also make men feel like they are the reason for their bitchy attitude in the relationship. I have seen many single and married women cheat terribly on their partner, and when they get caught, they say, "It's because you didn't give me enough attention when I needed you the most. You were not there." Some divorced women guilt-tripped their husbands, incapacitated them emotionally and mentally dumped them, and took their properties away. They guilt-tripped them so much that they cannot think of anything good. They can think of how to be careful not to make any mistake, or how to prepare himself for the next guilt. Tripping some men don't want to remarry because they thought they are the problem. This topic reminds me of the case of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, which was a clear story of a woman guilt-tripping a man at its best. She would hit him and abuse him, and when he tried to talk to her about it, she said he was acting like a baby and he needs to grow up. I think there was a video where she said who would believe him that the almighty Jack Sparrow was abused by his wife. And to think about it, Johnny Depp kept quiet for years until she accused him of abusing her, and this almost cost him his career. If not for that, he would have kept mute for years. Imagine that Johnny Depp, the exceptional Jack Sparrow, was being guilt-tripped for years, and he seemed to lose his identity and kept quiet. When he tries to speak out, she says he consumes a lot of alcohol and drugs. That's why he doesn't know what he is saying.
There's a thing called the argument from intimidation. Do you know what that is? That's when people will look at you and be like, "Oh, don't be ridiculous," or "No, you couldn't possibly believe that." This is what girls do all the time. Men do not do it nearly as much. If you're dealing with a guy who does that kind of thing, what he's doing is he's depending or he's relying on your own benevolence, your own kindness to not rebut him. They'll look at a guy, and because men have been told their entire lives, you're toxic, you're cruel, you're aggressive. Basically, men are
love that.
Basically, men are told from the moment they're born, get on your knees and beg for forgiveness, you dirty, dirty man.
When?
That is what men are told
When?
from the moment they are born. So when we do something and a girl feels like they're being attacked, when really we're just speaking our mind, talking about our feelings, you come back and you can't stand the fact that you might have pissed us off. So you go, I cannot believe that you would insinuate that you would do something. That's something that girls do.
I once had a girl too, who would get moody for a long time and tell me I do not let her express herself, because I tell her I don't want her to do this or that as my woman, which were all things I did not observe before dating her. This is why I tell men to never be hasty in making partnership decisions. Take your time studying these women. It's even better you do this before committing in any way. Express your power in this area, and she will even respect you because you are not jumping at her and doing silly things to get her. A lot of relationship coaches have told women that when a man tells them to stop this or that, he is trying to manipulate and control them. So when you tell your woman you do not want her to dress this way or do that, she says, "Didn't you know this? How I dressed before you met me?" And she is not ready to change. Just dump her. Guilt gripping and gaslighting is emotional manipulation that women use to go scot-free when they make mistakes. This is a story that particularly interested me while I was thinking about this particular topic. I am privileged to have people sharing stories and experiences of what men have faced from modern women, and this is one of them. You might agree with certain things in the story. Drop your thoughts in the comment box and let me know what you think. So let me get right into the story. I will call the girl Karen and the guy Logan. Karen and Logan had been together for several years. They had started living together for about a year and their relationship looked perfect. But behind closed doors, it was a terrible life for Logan. Their relationship was a total mood killer. Logan was a reserved and easygoing man. And Karen was an extrovert and social person with a lot of girlfriends she companies with. She is a wild girl, trying to hold down a guy she would settle with when she is ready to settle down. But Logan will not accept that. He will always tell her he does not want her with those friends. And since he was providing enough and she didn't want to lose that source, she stopped. By the way, Logan is kind of a masculine guy just from watching his father and his submissive mother while growing up. But he didn't have an understanding of how a modern woman operates, so he fell for her games. So Karen started by often using guilt as a tool to control and manipulate Logan. She had a knack for making him feel responsible for her unhappiness. She would always say Logan took her life from her, and she was becoming miserable day by day because she had lost all of her friends because she was trying to live life like Logan. One particular scenario involved Sarah complaining about how neglected she felt. She would often recount the instances when Mikhail had to work late or spend time with friends, making him feel guilty for not being there for her since she left all her friends for him. Karen's skilled use of gaslighting gradually made Logan believe that he was the root cause of her misery. In response, he would cancel plans and drop everything to attend to her needs, even if it meant neglecting his own. The guilt trips didn't stop at emotional manipulation, but extended to financial and material aspects of their relationship. Karen often hinted at the expensive gifts she admired, subtly suggesting that Michael should buy them for her. She played on his desire to make her happy, which caused him to make expensive purchases that pushed his budget because he had believed she sacrificed her life for him to satisfy him, and he needed to make her happy one way or the other. Over time, Michael's self-esteem and happiness reduced as he tried to figure out what was going on. He specifically pointed out in the story that when he compared his life and his father's, he figured his father was happier than him. He said he always felt like he was walking on eggshells, fearing that any action or decision would lead to another guilt trip. Eventually, Michael started searching for anything that looked like his situation online, and he came across masculine content, which is why I have access to this kind of story. He continued that content like this was what helped him recognize the tricks Karen was using in their relationship. He started to set boundaries and stand by his decision in their relationship, and he mentioned that the first thing that happened was that he discovered that he had shown her that he was scared of letting her go, and this was one of her powers over him. What is interesting about this story is that Logan shared this story as more of an experience than a story of regret. And I thought it was important to share this particular one because it comes with a real example of women guilt-tripping men. Shout out to my guy for the privilege to use the story. This is the life of modern women not taking responsibility for their actions, just shifting blame and trying to take charge of their relationship manipulatively. As a real man, never fall for this bullshit. Shun every site of gaslighting and guilt trapping. Take charge so you can stay happy. That's all for today on the latest juice. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like my previous videos. Remember to drop your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that like button, click the subscribe button, and also turn on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. Share this video with whomever you would like to watch it. Thanks for watching.